Hello and welcome. My name is Alan. Grab you a chair, get you something to drink. We're going to talk about the two useless parties who serve the corporations, the Democrats and the Republicans. They're both corporate hacks. Their true masters are the rich and the corporations. They love to act like they're big for their sides by having these culture wars, you know, with the Democrats pretending, oh, we back your rights for this and that. Look at how we wear uh, African tribal dress or do bows or, you know, uh, sing God Bless America while the Republicans are acting like we're anti-CRT and wokeness, and but in the end, they both serve the corporations and the rich. Look at who has profited the most from their times in the Senate, in the White House. It's disgusting. Now, are there some culture war issues that matter? From time to time, they need to be given some observation. But most of the time, no, it's utter BS. There should be human rights. Honestly, that should be the biggest thing is we treat each other equally and as humans, but that don't happen as much as it should. But it doesn't make the Democrats some great defenders either. Instead of having health care for all, you know, we have the only first world country that pays for all its health care. Only first world country. I know a lot of people that be like, oh, but Venezuela. First world. Venezuela's not a first world country. American infrastructure is not what it should be. It's one of the worst in the first world. But again, who profits? Corporations and the rich. I'm telling you, Democrats, Republicans both work for the same group. When there's a tax cut, where does the majority of the money go? corporations and the rich. Everybody was like, oh, Trump gave a big old tax cut. That was wonderful. We got crumbs in the middle class, the working class, and the poor. The great majority of it went to the rich and the corporations. Neither party will truly out and out tax the rich or the corporations. And I hear some people argue, oh, but many of them don't own anything as far as just money. It is mainly just assets they own. I don't care. Maybe they need to liquidate some of the assets and pay for it. There needs to be something done. I don't care how they have their wealth. You know, the poor, the middle class, we're often forced to liquidate what we own to pay for stuff if we own big debts. Why shouldn't the rich and the corporations? It's disgusting that they get so much and we get so little. George W. Bush was the last president to introduce a pay hike. The minimum wage was what, 5 something, and then 2006, 7, he introduced a pay hike in 2 stages. First to $6 and something, and then a little later jump to the current level, $7.25. But over that same period, the rich and the corporations have continued to get richer, and prices continue to go up, but we're stuck. The Democrats and Republicans work for the rich and the corporations. They pretend to show some culture war BS. I'm tired of it. Biden is a failure. Trump was a failure. Obama was a failure. W. Bush was a failure. Clinton was a failure. The first George Bush, was a failure. Ronald Reagan, a failure. Jimmy Carter, a failure. Nixon, or Ford, I almost forgot Ford. Ford, a failure. Nixon, a failure. Lyndon B. Johnson, a failure. But we start reaching back into presidents. Meh. Eh. We start seeing things that are good for America. I think Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act. The last thing any of these presidents did, I think, Clinton balanced the budget. Maybe Obama signed something to guarantee uh, gay marriage. And even that's under threat by the Supreme Court. Most of our presidents, it's been small little crumbs here and there. I can point out to you some of the good things some of these presidents did. You know, for all the evils they committed, we've got Nixon opening relations with China and creating the EPA. Except Gerald Ford. He technically was never elected. He only became president because he was vice president when Nixon stepped down. He never ran for president. I think he just, yeah, was kind of a headpiece. I couldn't tell you for sure anything he did. Um, Reagan or Carter? Carter. He tried to get us to go environmental and to keep us out of. I, I can't even say that. I don't know if he tried to keep us out of wars. Maybe he did, but yeah. Reagan. Um, People will go, "Oh, the economy was great." How much of that was really Reagan, though? Uh, the first George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, he had one term. Um, yeah. Well, Clinton, like I said, balanced the budget. Um, First George W. Bush, minimum wage hike. Obama, there was marriage equality. Trump, early on, he took us out of that Pacific partnership thing that many were trying to get us into. I'll give him credit for that, the TPP. And then we're on Biden. We got the checks, $1,400, and he took us out of Afghanistan, even though he later sanctioned the crap out of them. But yeah, for the most part, our presidents have been failures. I'd give them D's or less. And then Congress, we've got representatives in there for 10, 15 terms in the House of Representatives, which equates to 20, 30 years. Senators, shoot, 6-year terms. And there's some who's been in there for 3, 4 terms. That's 18 to 24 years. I've already spoke on how about the Supreme Court. This current iteration of it is a horrible, horrible political monster. I'm ready to impeach all 3 branches. And we have fresh candidates. And I want candidates that are not tied to big business. I want candidates who are not known to be money grubbers, who aren't there just to rake in profit. I want people that'll actually work for the middle class and the poor. Can we get that? No, I honestly don't think we can. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, I see Democrats and Republicans as the same. We need 3rd, 4th, 5th parties. We need to get rid of the Electoral College. I would love some ranked choice voting. Screw both parties. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.